So, time for a bit of trolling. It's about 5:30 in the morning. Slight onshore breeze, a little bit of a chop. Perfect conditions, overcast. So I put on a blue weedless. And the way I do this is I cast out, then I pedal, and there's a fish on. Oh! That's what I call a bass. You see the curve in this rod? Right, I'll tell you a little bit more about the trolling in a minute. Come on. Lovely fish. Lovely bite. Ooh, come on. That's the first fish of the day. So, try and catch another by trolling. So as I was saying, what we do, it's early in the morning, bit of a chop, very snaggy area. So I wallop the lure out, and the first thing I do is I paddle like crazy. The reason I'm paddling like crazy is I really don't want to get that lure down into the rocks too soon. Now I click the bail arm on and I paddle a bit more. The reason I'm doing this, I'm now bringing the lure back up to the surface. I click the bail arm off, I'm now releasing line. So the line's dropping down, or the lure's dropping down to the deck. And now I click the bail arm back on again. And that's the sort of depth that I just caught the last fish on. So regarding the position of the rod, I think you've noticed I've basically got it mounted midships. There you go. The reason I do that is it means that I can, in my line of sight, I can look in front and look out for swimmers or seals or buoys or anything. And I can also look at the rod tip at all times. What I'm looking for on the rod tip is, obviously, one is a bite. The first thing I'm looking for is actually the position of the rod tip. If it comes forward just an inch or so, then in all probability I've just picked up a tiny piece of weed, and that means that I'm not going to catch a fish. So by monitoring that rod tip, I can quickly get the line and get the weed off and get back out and do some fishing. The second reason I keep it midships is that when I get a fish, the rod is basically delivered to me straight to my hand. So that's quite interesting. You see, the opposite is, in the old days I practiced putting rods out on the gunnels, but that would mean that you'd need to stretch forward. Now we've got a very tiny chop, but you imagine me stretching forward now over here, okay, to my left hand or port side. That, in the wrong conditions, is a capsize. So for stability and safety, it's definitely a good habit to keep the bass rod midships. And as you probably notice, I just fish with the one rod. You know, again, in the past I've experimented with two rods, but if you go for a school of bass, you're going to catch two bass at the same time. That's not fair to the fish, and you're going to lose a lot of braid. I mean, I can guarantee I've done it. So now I tend to just fish with the one rod. I only fish with one rod, which enables me to do a bit of trolling, and then occasionally I'll switch lures, do the regular bit of, you know, casting, plugging. We're going over a bit of an area which can be a bit bassy. Let's see what happens. Now a little bit about choice of kayak. If you're doing trolling, It's nice to have something that's smooth, cuts through the water. I'm very lucky. I've had a couple of mates of mine have put this together for me, specifically for bass fishing. Oh, we got a fish on. Right, that was delivered. So you see the rod came to me? Now what's interesting, this is a top lure. Now look how the kayak spins around. That was a bite and a half. Come on, fish. Oh, line stripping. So, come on. I've got a very light leader on. I've got an 8-pound leader, so I've got to go a bit careful. And one of the reasons I like a nice long rod is if you get a decent bass on, like this one, you can pass it around the bow. Come on, come on, don't worry, don't worry.